वालेकुम नाजरीन, BMC लाइव में मैं हूं बदर मुनीर चौधरी। आज का प्रोग्राम बहुत अहम है चूँकि आज हमारे मेहमान हैं फेडरल मिनिस्टर ऑफ इमिग्रेशन, रेफ्यूजीज़ एंड सिटीज़नशिप शॉन फ्रेज़र। आज उनसे हम इमिग्रेशन के हवाले से मालूमात हासिल करेंगे, साथ स्पाउसल इमिग्रेशन, पेरेंट स्पॉन्सरशिप और मुख्तलिफ सवालात उनके सामने मैं रखूँगा और इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के हवाले से पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के गिले शिकवे पर भी बात करेंगे। आइए पहुंचते हैं मिनिस्टर ऑफ इमिग्रेशन मिस्टर शॉन फ्रेज़र के पास। थैंक यू शॉन फ्रेज़र फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस एंड वेलकम टू माय शो BMC लाइव।
Look, it's a pleasure to be here. Salam alaikum, Badr. It's my absolute pleasure to join you today.
The pandemic has affected everyone and processing delays has been frustration for many individuals. How is the overhaul of the system being handled?
Look, thank you for that question. And I really appreciate the way that you framed it because the impact of COVID-19 on Canada's immigration system cannot be overstated. Of course, we set the ambitious goal to resettle the greatest number of permanent residents in Canada's history last year and have had more than 405,000 be resettled. But it also happened at a time when our borders were closed for much of the year in order to protect the public's health and well-being against the spread of COVID-19. This required us to make a decision to process more people who were already in Canada, and it made it created a circumstance where a lot of people who were seeking to come from outside of the country were delayed. And of course, there were more and more people who wanted to come to Canada because Canada remains a destination of choice. This created a situation where there's a couple of years worth of applications that are pending. But the good news is we've advanced certain measures that are already starting to make a very positive difference. We've hired more than 500 rather new staff to process cases more quickly. Just last Monday, I announced that $85 million is going toward expediting work permits, study permits, permanent residency cards, proof of citizenship, and temporary residency visas. But what's really exciting to me is some of these short-term measures will certainly relieve a little bit of the pressure, but the long-term solution is to modernize the system by creating a digital platform that Canada's immigration system will be able to rely upon. We've seen new features that have already come on, like a case tracker for permanent residency cases that involve family reunification. We will have more than 15 lines of business with digital application processes by this summer. We've already seen great advances on citizenship application processes through digital means, and we intend to continue to see more and more features of Canada's immigration system in the months ahead come online and use 21st century technology to help reduce the inventory of cases and bring more families to Canada, because our country needs more people if our economy and our communities are going to succeed.
Immigration Canada is facing a backlog of more than 1.8 million people waiting on decisions. The express entry backlog alone stand at about 120,000. Can applicant expect any good news in this year?
Yeah, in fact, Bonner, there's already progress starting to take hold. Just since the late last year, around the time that I was appointed as the minister in October, we've seen permanent residence backlogs down by 29,000 people. We've got family reunification is back on the service standard processing times. The family class inventory is down more than 9,000 cases. We're going to see significant numbers be arriving when you'll see my levels plan I'll table in the House of Commons on Monday. Will include, I'll spoil the surprise somewhat, continued pursuit of more and more newcomers that will be able to come in, which will allow us to make progress on those cases that have been waiting. I don't mean to communicate that a problem that grew over a couple of years during a national and global emergency, that it will be solved overnight. But the measures that we've put in place, including more staff, including more resources for the lines of business I mentioned, and including new functions of the digital system coming online, it's already starting to make a big difference. And my sense is in the months ahead and the next couple of years, you're going to see a market improvement in Canada's system of immigration. And I feel very optimistic about what the near future holds in terms of our ability to manage these volumes.
When will the online application portal be fully implemented And how will this practice reduce the processing times for spousal sponsorship?
So for spousal sponsorship, the great news is that you can already apply online today. And for new applications that are being made now as a result of some of the changes we've made, we are back to the 12-month service standard. Some of the other things that are really exciting is a lot of the members of parliament who call me asking for updates on cases are really just asking for a status update. One of the features that came online this past week, the case tracker for family reunification permanent residency applications, is actually going to allow individual users to see the status of their application in real time. They won't need to call IRCC, they won't need to call their MP's offices. They will have on their own device access to the same information that the department holds, and this will make a major difference. In addition, there's new features that have come online in the past few months, including the finalization of your PR application digitally. And we've seen more than 200,000 new permanent residents finalize their process through the application on their device designed to do this. These new digital features are making a big difference in terms of improving the capacity of our department to process people more quickly, but as importantly, giving tools to the individual user that will allow them to keep tabs on where their case is at, which I know will give peace of mind to a lot of people who are wondering where their application is in the process of immigration.
Many deserving parents could not come to Canada because of the lottery system. What do you think about this?
This particular stream of immigration to Canada is the most difficult to manage of any stream in immigration, in my opinion. The reason is the demand is extremely high. We have space for a fraction of the number of people who would like to come here. Our goal in 2022 is to have 23,500 newcomers come through the parents and grandparents stream. But to put that into perspective, we have typically in excess of 200,000 people that would like to apply. So the choices that you really have are to have 10 years worth of applications be made, knowing that the wait time would be that long, or to have a randomized selection that gives everyone a chance to come to Canada on equal footing. There is not a perfect answer for the parents and grandparents stream because we don't have the capacity to bring in 200,000 people through that particular stream every year, even with the significant increase we're seeing year over year. So if folks have feedback on how the program could be altered, I'm always interested in listening. But this particular stream of immigration to Canada is one that really is a difficult problem to solve.
Can you share the numbers of international students from Pakistan? Actually, Pakistani community has complained that these numbers are very low. Minister, is it true?
Well, look, it depends on your perspective and where you compare. So to start, let me say that international students are so welcome to come to Canada. And my view is that they provide immense contributions to the communities where they settle, to the institutions where they study. And those who stay and become permanent residents demonstrate incredible social and economic outcomes compared to so many other groups that come to Canada. My ambition for international students across the board is to increase the number that are coming to Canada and create a pathway to permanent residency through the international students program, as I was mandated to do by the Prime Minister in my mandate letter after my appointment. But specific to Pakistan, if we actually look at some of the changes that have been made, we've seen that there are more people coming now than there were before the pandemic. 2020 was a different year because of the pandemic and the pressures it put on our system. But if I actually compare the number of people who came from Pakistan in 2019 before the pandemic to the number that came here last year when we figured out how to deal with the challenges of COVID-19 for international students, the total number of approvals
what about
increased.
direct stream program? Are Pakistani students are not using properly?
No, I wouldn't say that. What we've seen is a major increase in the number of overall applications, and the number of approvals since Student Direct Stream has come on is actually significantly higher. So there's been 1,664 Pakistani international students that were welcomed to Canada last year in 2021, compared to only 645 in 2019. The Students Direct Stream does give advantages because it allows people who are going to qualify to come in more quickly, but we have also seen a large number of people who've not gained entry into Canada because there were so many more people who applied. So we're seeing this right across the board, not specific to Pakistan. There's a huge demand of people who would like to come to Canada. And although there might be more people who've been refused entry, there's also been a significant increase in the number of people who are being resettled or are welcomed under a study permit as an international student. And as I mentioned, my appetite is to continue to see those numbers go up.
The immigration and visa process for Pakistani applicants is not in Pakistan. The desks are set up in UK and Abu Dhabi. I think the immigration officers are not much aware of our culture. Is it possible to set up these desks in Pakistan?
So it's really essential that we do have an understanding of the local dynamics when we're processing immigration files. I don't know that that means that the right answer in all circumstances is to have a new IRCC facility, because we sometimes see when we decentralize the process too much, it actually results in delayed processing over time. So with respect to Pakistan, we do have 3 visa application centers in Pakistan, including Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi that support IRC's operations with visa applications. We've got officers in Pakistan who have local expertise, but for efficiency, we like to share files across all of our networks. And as we embrace the digital system I discussed earlier, what the real advantage is going to be is when we have capacity in one location somewhere in the world, they'll be able to process more files that might be coming from another portion in the world. So I don't think it would be reasonable to say all of the files from one country should just be processed in the UK. We should be expanding it across our global network to see if we can increase the rate at which people are processed. But where we do need to continue to maintain our focus, having a presence on the ground through our visa application centers, and for folks who understand the local culture that can work with our officers to ensure that that local perspective is factored in during the visa application assessment process and for those who apply to come as permanent residents.
Minister, thank you so much. Any advice for Pakistani students or any message for our Pakistani community at the end?
First, thank you for listening. And second, I want to reiterate that a lot of the pressures that we've been facing through this pandemic on Canada's immigration system are temporary in nature. Our system has been hit hard, but by a shock that is temporary. The COVID-19 pandemic will not last forever, and we are already seeing a significant increase in the number of cases that are being processed as a result of some of the measures that we put on. I want people from Pakistan who are interested in coming to Canada to look at the changes we're making to the process and realize that if you have a reason to come here, to work, to study, to be with your family, that we want you to think of Canada. We want to welcome more and more newcomers, not because we're on a mission to set a record for the number of permanent residents like we did last year, but because we believe in our sincerely in our hearts that it's the right thing to do for our communities. It's not just for the people who are coming here. By bringing more young families here, we're going to be able to sustain our demographics. By bringing more people to work here, we'll be able to fill the labor shortage in our economy. And by bringing bright young students who can study here and give the solutions they learn about through their programs, either to Canadian communities or to the world, we believe that there is a public good in that. My view is that we should continue to increase our ambition when it comes to immigration. And I believe that candidates who are looking to resettle in Canada from Pakistan make excellent applicants for permanent residency, and I look forward to welcoming more Pakistani nationals as Canadian permanent residents and visitors in the months and years ahead.
Thank you so much, Sean Fraser, for your time.
Oh, Badr, the pleasure is all mine. As I've said, I really appreciate the chance to connect today, and hopefully we get to do this in person one time when it's safe to do so.
Sure. Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you. हमारे साथ थे फेडरल मिनिस्टर ऑफ इमिग्रेशन, रेफ्यूजीज़ एंड सिटीजनशिप मिस्टर शॉन फ्रेज़र. प्रोग्राम के हवाले से ज़रूर बताइएगा. info@canada1.tv पर हमें आपके फीडबैक का इंतज़ार रहेगा. कीप वॉचिंग Canada1 TV.